Erase that whole
Greg,
part.
you
The
want to
thing,
our card over there?
did you get on the thing yesterday for the national call? Is that where he said the thing about?
Like
Like,
what
yeah,
it
sure,
says.
go on.
Yeah, thanks.
Wasn't there one in all four
Am I
coaches?
billing them or through you?
Probably go through me just because I'm set up in their system, like there's like some weird.
I think I am too.
Or you?
Um,
I mean, if you are set up, then that's cool. then you could-
Where are you opening
I
the
don't
doors from?
Where did he say the thing about putting the picture in the lockers?
Where are you
Check.
opening to?
With the Superdome or whatever. I don't know if you saw that. About that.
Maybe Saturday. bring it to you.
What was Saturday?
It's a Robin Roberts special
Yeah.
for some special maybe included for her. I don't know. She's got her own production arm and all, so I'm unclear as to who this is exactly for.
I don't know. It's like.
Just gotta find out who to bill that to.
I mean, it's all one of those.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, I'm not sure where it is. If they have a full contract for documentaries and all that stuff.
Yeah. Who knows anymore, you know, you work on these stocks where they say, oh, it's this channel, and then by the time it airs, I'm on two different channels.
Yeah.
You were just sending him postmates. Ready to go golf. Masters colors.
It was supposed to be, got a little weather sheet from Gregory
Did you?
I was not happy about the weather.
about the weather.
Okay, my bad. I thought that was yesterday. I thought all four of them were.
Yeah.
I know, because, oh, so you got taps on the areas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
something
coming.
Roy says Schubert Davis Tuesday.
Yeah, I like that fact,
That's right.
Part of that's why I
Oh, yeah.
like.
My bad. That was
like
us.
Aries was because of, because it didn't have something, I got the mirror first. and then- Yeah, well, I don't know why they didn't keep.
I saw it changing for
Well,
the
no,
rest of
there's
it.
no significant upgrades other than it being good for multi-camera, like, core. And I was like.
Ross, you see the Final Four officials?
Like,
Reckon that's one of them.
Your guy?
But yeah.
I got two.
But that was part of the.
Huh?
I got a man.
Big Roger Ayers guy.
Only because of Dan Morphy.
He loves Roger Ayers.
Roger Ayers loves Roger Ayers.
Probably.
Ross is his second biggest fan.
Ron Groover, recognize that name.
ACC guy. He's the best ACC guy.
He's best.
I think so. I mean, no offense to Roger. Bert
Smith
Smith is good too.
How they have their hometown.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of it in years. Bert Smith.
I saw the Doug
I had Dale
Sermon.
I had Dale Stockton on Bert.
Did you? Oh, I don't remember that guy. I thought it was Earl.
What?
He egged him on. He was getting money out of him, and then the guy started.
You probably could have gotten more money if you were willing to just.
He sent me
Totally
$50
egged him.
a month, and then he invited me down to his Airbnb. He's like, use it with friends in town.
He totally let him out. You ain't gotta get all high like that.
I might ask him something for loans. Hey, Bert, what I'm doing is.
That's what we're just talking about. Why do you want us to get all high? It's just Aaron Beard.
No, it's not.
Oh, I thought it was.
I brought the whole crew.
You brought everybody.
Armando, I brought them all.
I thought it was Aaron Beard of the Associated Press.
can just kind of show us the 1 of the 3 on that.
Get this mask on, everybody.
All right, who wants to start?
Armando, beginning of the season and in the offseason, Coach Davis told us that this team was good enough to win a national championship. I think during the season, that might have wavered from maybe the fan or media perspective, but now you're 2 games away. What do you tell you back then, like that optimism and faith you had in the ability to make it?
Yeah, I mean, he told us that even before we had practice, just once they got the personnel together, he had kind of put he put a picture of the Superdome on all our lockers, and then he told all the parents back then to book hotels and a flight to New Orleans, and he was like dead serious too when he said it. And actually, some of my people's actually booked a flight, and when he said it at first, I'd be lying if I thought like automatically we would, go there. But once our talent and stuff, once we all got together and I saw our team, I knew we had the talent and was good enough to go.
Was there a time during the year where maybe you questioned that? Or, and if so, how long did that take, and when did you start maybe rethinking that?
Yeah, I mean, it was just more questions of will we ever be able to put it all together at the right time. Because I knew we had the scoring, and I knew when we locked in defensively we could be good enough, and I knew the way we played created a lot of mismatches in the tournament, especially for teams that really have never played against a team like us, just having, Brady who can really shoot the ball, a lot of shooters, and then just me inside too is just kind of a different attack than most teams. So, I mean, I knew we would have a chance to, do some of these things, but it was also times too where I was like, yeah, I don't know if we can, get it all right at the right time.
Armando, it seems like RJ has been playing maybe more of an on-ball role, pushing the pace a little bit more. How has that shift helped both him and Caleb to sort of unlock the offense to the most of his potential?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just gave Caleb an opportunity to just focus more on just scoring and not trying to be a playmaker. Early on in the season, him and RJ both were trying to score and be a playmaker, and then it just kind of got tough for both of them, just trying to figure out which one they should be depending on the game. So I think with just Caleb being more off ball and being able to score, and then RJ just being an all-around playmaker, it just made our offense flow a lot better.
You say put it together defensively. How much did Leaky's defensive prowess make you guys want to be better defensively individually, and then how did you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, around the time when Leaky really started getting a lot of recognition for how good he was defensively, I think that kind of made all us want to just turn it up a little bit, even more on the defensive end, just because we wanted the Defensive Player of the Year award for him, really, and we just really saw when we play defense and hold teams under 70 points, we usually win the game, and that was kind of what Coach really put an emphasis on later on in the season, just telling us that our goal should be trying to keep teams under 70 points, and that's when I would say our defensive mentality really changed because we kind of had something to look at.
So the other night that after the St. Peter's game, that one of the reasons they had so much success pressuring the guards was because he trusted everything behind him. When did that trust defensively and the other guys kind of start?
I can't pinpoint it on one game, but I would say that definitely happened to more towards later on in the season. We just started trusting each other more defensively, and that made everything so much easier because at first it was just more of us all just worrying about our man not scoring, but now it's when our man scores, it's a score on the whole team versus just one player, and then that's why things been really clicking defensively.
Armando, how would you describe your relationship with Coach May, and in what ways, since he can be on the court now, in what ways do you feel like that's helped you this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely done wonders for my games, just being able to have him out there and just for him to be able to coach me every day. Every day we talk, and he's just telling me things I can do to get better, and just, when I'm playing against opponents, he's giving me their tendencies and what they like to do, and also just giving me multiple ways to attack different players. So just having him out there on the court has been great, and then it's also been allowing me to, kind of model and have something to, try to compete with, because I kind of want to put up better numbers than him. So that's kind of a little type of conflict we've been having all year, just arguing about our seasons and stuff like that.
So what'd you say when you got the double-double record to him?
Told him he never do that, and a lot of the things I do that he's never done, I always rubbing in on him, and then some of the coaches too were rubbing in on him, and that's why I really wanted the ACC Player of the Year, just because that's something he never did. So it would have been funny just to mess with him, and whenever he say something to me, I could just tell him I want ACC player, and he didn't.
Does he throw the ring 05 back in your face like you still got to get it?
Oh, for sure. He always talk about like his big performances versus Duke and all the big games. Like he was messing with me before the last game, and he was like, I asked him like 10 minutes before the game. I was like, "What do I need to do this game to be able to top you?" It's actually funny. I haven't told anybody the story. And then he said he had like 28 and 12 in that game or something. And I told him, I was like, if I get 20 and 20, does that mean I'm better than you? And he was like, yeah. And then I actually ended up getting 20 and 20. I don't know if he'll admit that yet, but that was actually a conversation we had right before the game.
He was Final Four MOP too.
I know, yeah, that's something that would be good to have.
Armando, on Sunday you tweeted from Philadelphia that you were looking forward to seeing the fans and your fellow students turn out at the Dean Dome to welcome you guys back. Sure enough, they did. What was that like on Sunday as you were walking through that tunnel of your fellow students, knowing that it would be Duke you faced next in the Final Four?
Yeah, I would say since I've been here, that's probably the craziest moment that I would say me and a lot of my teammates ever experienced. Just coming back off the bus and just seeing how excited and just the joy and all of Carolina. It's kind of like we got the heartbeat back going around here in Chapel Hill, and it was just great. And, I mean, once we all got in the locker room, like at 12:30 or something, after we went through the tunnel of fans, we all was like, man, that was amazing. Like, that was really cool, and I'm just glad we all got to experience that.
So how long did you kind of enjoy what happened in Philadelphia, and what point do you start shifting forward?
I would say I enjoyed it until I woke up the next morning, and then it was just like on to the next because I want to win and I want to do more. So I can't really harp on the past and just want to just keep going and keep that tunnel vision. That's what's really been helping us.
This game's going to obviously get a ton of attention this week, just like the one a few weeks ago. Do you think going through that process, sort of insulating and deflecting, disregarding all the outside noise, will help you guys this week? Because there's going to be a lot of it, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean, none of the noise is on us, so I guess that's a good thing. Nobody's talking about us, so we all fine with that.
Armando, what's one non-basketball thing you're most looking forward to about New Orleans?
I'll probably say the gumbo. I'm a big gumbo guy. I eat a lot of Roof Chris, so I kind of want to see how like a traditional gumbo tastes.
Armando, you were talking in Philly about the GBG group text.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you maybe shed some more light on that? And like, do people have certain roles in there? Is somebody more positive than somebody else? Do you have to lift somebody up? And like, I can only imagine the conversation has been getting more and more lively as you guys have advanced.
Yeah, GBG Get Back Gang. That's the name of our group chat. And I mean, not group chat. It's just more of us just talking about regular everyday stuff too. But I mean, a lot of the times too, we put a lot of bad stuff that's being said about us in that group chat too, and we kind of fuel off that. I think just like people just counting us out and telling us what we can't do. That's something like, as a team, we really like to hear because it really like pisses us off kind of, and it kind of gives us even extra fuel. So we love it, and we invite all of it.
So somebody's researching the bad stuff.
Yeah, I mean, pop up on our phone. We got friends and stuff too that'll send it to us, and we'll put it all in the group chat. And of course, we'll talk a little trash like, "Oh, okay, we got something for that," and
Armando, what is it about rebounding that you like the most? I mean, it takes somebody has to like it to do it as well as you do.
I would say just being able to control the time of the possession. Just on offense, when I get the offensive rebound, it allows for us to get another shot and another opportunity to score the ball. And in defense, it doesn't give the team another chance to take any extra shots. And I just think it's one of the most important things.
What's the toughest part about doing it?
Not fouling out. Because a lot of the times, I get too aggressive trying to get offensive rebounds, and I may get a few chippy and stupid fouls.
Armando, what do you credit the consistency you've had this year to? Because your previous years, you showed flashes that you could do exactly what you're doing, but you never pieced it together to this year.
I would say just keeping a steady head and just having like a next game mentality for real. I think that's really just what helped me the most, and just being confident in myself. Like I never am nervous or, scared of the moment. So just being able to, just balance all that has really helped me.
How's Duke a different team than the last time you faced them?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they've just been playing really great, just inspired basketball, and they've really been playing well together. Markey's been great. Paulo, too, has been great. And, I mean, Jeremy Roach, that's the Jeremy Roach I played with in high school. On AAU, we won the EYBL championship. He's really been finding his swag, and I'm happy for him.
Defensively, what are the challenges that they present to you with the amount of ISO ball that they play? Because you've been talking about how it's 1-on-5 defensively for you guys, but with how they isolate defenders, what are some of those challenges?
I would say not really too much challenge. I mean, guarding Paulo getting downhill is kind of tough, but other than that, I wouldn't say no challenges for real.
Armando, you mentioned obviously Jeremy and Mark both from Virginia. Like, how have you seen them grow and improve? Like, what's the relationship? Like, will you talk to them at all this week? Like, trash talk? I don't know, anything?
Yeah, I talked to Mark last week, actually. I was messing with him because when they was flying to San Francisco, they had like a plane, and it was like super nice. And I was like, of course, only y'all would get that type of plane. So, yeah, I mean, Jeremy, I talked to him. I mean, we talk a lot, well, a good amount of time. Not too much, but this week I probably won't talk to them, though.
We had Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we had Wi-Fi, but they had like seats could recline and a leg rest and all that. I'm like, dang, we didn't get that. Yeah. Hopefully we get that this week, but we didn't get that nice of a plan.
Armando, you gave a shout out to Coach Robinson earlier this year on Twitter, talking about how he would make you run whenever you wouldn't run to the boards. Have you talked to him at all during the season since Arizona's season ended? Has he reached out to you?
Yeah, he reached out to me after I tweeted that out, and yeah, I mean, I kind of see now what Coach Rob was trying to get me to do as a freshman. You know, as a freshman, I just think the coach just being annoying, picking on me, and now I kind of see like what he saw in me and what he was trying to get out of me. So I thank him for that.
2 more minutes with Armando, then we'll get RJ.
It's kind of cool that you guys and Duke are actually on this stage. These schools have never met in the tournament before, which is kind of crazy.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's great, and I think it's just an amazing storyline for the NCAA, and then also the Fair World Tour too. Just us meeting at this time, and then especially after beating them in Cameron. I mean, it just makes for the perfect story, and I think it'll definitely be one of the biggest college games of all time.
Armando, you've talked about, bringing Carolina basketball back, and it seems like it's important to you. You said it after the Duke game. You've said it in recent weeks. Like, when did that thought or feeling start to sort of resonate with you? And was there a moment where you're like, this is bigger than I thought it was in terms of just the program and its past and what's happening now?
Yeah, I mean, I would say just recently getting to this point of going to the Final Four, because, I mean, it's something that all teams want to get to at the beginning of the year. Everyone just talks about getting to the Final Four and being the last 4 teams. And, I mean, I think me, myself, and just a lot of people, too, kind of just overreacted and just the state of where Carolina basketball was at. I mean, I saw something today, like we was in 3 of the last 6 Final Fours, and, I mean, that's just crazy to think. And you hear people all the time just saying, like, Carolina basketball fell off and things like that, but I don't know no program that fell off that's been in 3 of the last 6 Final Fours, so I'm glad we back.
Armando, obviously Mark's a great defender, but last time you played, you had a few isolation situations that you had success with. Given his size, his length, is there anything different to your approach when you're in isolation with him?
Yeah, just getting more into his body, because he's a good shot blocker, so if I can just, kind of get him off balance and falling back, it'll help him pick up fouls and, get easier shots and getting closer to the basket, too, not trying to score so much far away and shooting jump hooks and just trying to get layups.
One last question.
When in the season did you say Coach Davis had you all book flights and hotels? When was that?
When was that? Nah, it was like our first meeting. We hadn't even practiced. He told us that, he told us when he first got the job, I don't even think we had Brady at that point. But, yeah, I don't even know how many, I don't even know, honestly. It was way, way before we had got on the court.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it, Armando. No problem. Thanks, everybody.
It will not be the last time you talk to the media this week.
I guess Villanova's been the 3 Final Fours last 6 years, right?
Is that right? Well, they went to 2016 and 17?
16, 17, no, 16,
17.
He's right.
That's fine.
Great. Basketball better than 3 lost.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. RJ? Oh, yeah, so that's good.
All right, CL over here on the left, we'll get started.
RJ, what would you kind of attribute your improvements this year. Is there kind of a turning point in your mind that comes during this season to where you felt like everything had come together for you?
Well, to speak on my improvements this year, it was definitely about building confidence. That was one of my main things. And, shooting the ball at a high clip this year, which I think I've been doing all year consistently. And just being like a true leader for this team. And as a point guard, like another extension for the coach on the court. So it's more about just, leading my guys and putting them in the correct positions where they could be great. And then, for myself as well. I would say my turning point. I'll probably say the second half of the season. I think that's where things started to. I started to play really well at a high level. I just been confident all year. My teammates been confident. My coach has been confident. They all trusted me. So, with that being said, that allows me to be my best on the court.
How difficult was it to balance? I mean, you and Caleb basically would switch who would initiate the offense and stuff. How difficult was that? Or did you find it difficult? Did you prefer it that way?
I mean, I didn't really find it difficult at all. We're both point guards, and we both play well with each other. That's something that we worked together during this off season, was just playing with each other, getting a better feel. How it feels to be on the court at the same time. And it didn't really matter who had the ball, who initiated the offense. It was more about just winning and doing what we have to do to get a win.
How do you feel you've gotten better defensively, individually, and how did Leaky's abilities kind of help you now?
I mean, I definitely improved. That was also one of my goals going into this year, just be more of a pest on defense, maintaining the ball, because that's, you got to do it at the highest level. So I wanted to just improve on defense, and just picking like Leaky and Ant's brain, because they're both great at defense, and just learning from them, I give credit to them.
RJ, with you having moved into more of the on-ball role, how has that sort of maybe accentuated both your and Caleb's strengths, letting him maybe just shoot a little bit more freely, chase his shots, and you getting to set up and get downhill in transition?
Well, I mean, I've been a point guard my whole life. I had the ball in my hand the whole life, so this is nothing new to me. And I've always been, you could say, a true point guard, a team first player. So I'm always rooting for my teammates' success, and I think that's, it credits them for me finding the ball. They're easy to find. They move well without the ball, and I'm just happy for them.
Do you remember when Hubert first recruited you during the process? What was that experience like? What was the first time you talked to him? And is this sort of what he was trying to sell you on? So we go back. It was the first session of EYBL. It's like the last games of the tournament, Sunday, and I'm like the early game. So we're like playing RJ Hampton or whatever, and I'm having like a big game. There's like Melo on the court and LeBron right next to me. So I'm going off. I had like 30. I had 30. I think that game. I don't think I missed. And it was like I think I hit like back-to-back threes, and HD had like just walked in, and he heard all the noise or whatever, and he walked over, and it was me playing. So from that point on, I caught his eye, and then he started recruiting me, and then Peace Jam is where I really took off again, and just like being consistent, efficient, just being who I am. I think that really caught his eye.
RJ, Coach Davis just said, even before the season started and early on, that this team was good enough to win a national championship and make it to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when he was saying that to y'all, and how crazy that kind of came true here with y'all making the Final Four?
Yeah, I mean, I remember HD telling us, and also pulling the New Orleans Superdome picture in our lockers, just for him to have that confidence in us and actually believe in us early in the year. It's actually crazy. It's something that I'll definitely remember forever. Just to him tell us, and we have the ability to be worthy enough of a national championship team.
Why do you think he thought that? Like, what about this team back then in October, November was good enough to?
Well, he saw the potential in the team. He saw the grit. He saw the talent that we had. It was all about just putting it together, brick by brick, day by day. So, I mean, it wasn't going to happen instantly. It was more about building chemistry on and off the court. And, and that's where we're at right now in the Final Four.
Do you still have that picture in your locker?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, to
look at it this week, kind of knowing you're heading to New Orleans? Does it take on any meaning?
It's surreal. I'm just, enjoying the moment right now, just taking advantage of everything. It's my first Final Four. I just remember watching it on TV, so now I'm actually able to play in it. So it was just an amazing feeling. It's just like, I still can't. I remember like my whole teammate smiling, me hugging my mom from when we played against St. Peter's and won. It was cutting down the nets. That's something that stays in my brain.
Caleb said the other night, mentioned trust when I asked him about the success you guys had defensively on the perimeter. He said trusting everybody makes it easier to play defense. As a guard, you can't see a lot of the stuff behind you. How important is that trust factor for you to be able to get in somebody's grill and do what you do?
Well, it's important. I think we take pride individually guarding our man, but also we could trust our teammates have our backs. HD always says, it's not a one-on-one game; it's a 1 against 5. And they're gonna play against 5 people. They're not gonna get isolation balls. We're gonna be in the gaps. We're gonna be in the midline, and we're gonna play a competitive defensive game.
Do you remember a game or a sequence when you realized, okay, that full trust is there, and we are now a better defensive unit than we were before?
I would say the UVA game. That was a really a turning point. I remember we all was just mentally and physically locked in that game, and I think that's what kind of turned the season around. Us just being defensively locked in. Yeah.
RJ, I think it'll be a month since you guys played on Saturday. It'll be a month since you played Duke in Cameron. I mean, was that moment? Is it valuable to look back on, or do you have to sort of wipe the slate clean with what's transpired for each team since then?
What we did against Duke was great, but now this is for a bigger thing. We're competing for a national championship, so. We're just gonna have fun this week, but also at the same time, know what we have to prepare and what we're playing for. This is all of our goals going to this season, so a lot is at stake.
I have some questions from up in your area, White Plains area, for some folks. RJ, you played and won several championships in high school. Is there anything you can draw on from that success that prepare you for playing for a championship this weekend?
I would say just our chemistry with the team. And the way we bonded with each other kind of led to that success. We all, loved being around each other, loved playing with each other. And we all bought into the system and bought into our roles and what we had to do, which led to our success for a chip.
Playing in big games like you played in the last month in particular, is that why you chose to come to a school like North Carolina?
Yeah, definitely. North Carolina is the big stage there is, the bright lights. And this is what I came here for. I live for these moments.
And then about 5 different people asked you to talk about A.J. Griffin. You guys played 20 minutes apart. You both played at Archbishop Spanik. Talk about your relationship with him. Do you guys talk much? Are you going to talk this week? Just talk about the two of you guys together.
I mean, A.J., he's a phenomenal talent. He can shoot the ball really well. He's a freakish athlete. When me and him played with each other, played together, it was a great duo. It was like no one could really stop us in New York. I'm super happy for him, super happy with success, what he's been doing this year. I don't think we're going to be talking this much this week just because of we're going to competing. But, he's like a little brother to me. Obviously, he's like 6'8", he's a little bit big brother, but that's like my little brother, so yeah.
All right, back here for a few more. We got him for about 5 more minutes.
What are the challenges you present since this last month or so? They've been one of the most efficient offenses in the country, and they just tore apart Texas Tech and Arkansas's defense.
I mean, they play at a great pace. They're playing well at the right time, and then I think that they're all just are locked in and bought into their roles or whatnot.
The way they play iso ball, does that disrupt y'all's 1-on-5 defensive mentality at all?
No, not at all. We're gonna stick to what's been working, and that's having a team defensive game.
Armando said a little while ago that when Coach Davis told families to book reservations in New Orleans, that some people in his family did. Anybody in your family?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Especially my mom and dad. I know they did.
A long time ago?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I definitely they really, we, my mom and my dad, we've been spoke about this going into this year. Just they knew what kind of kid I am. They know I have a competitive spirit in nature, and they just said as long as you and your guys you rally together, you guys could definitely get to New Orleans.
RJ, what's the mood been like among the team this week? Is there a sort of an elevated buzz among you guys, or is it just sort of a business trip, pretty much?
I mean, we're definitely just enjoying the moment right now. We're all happy. I'm pretty sure none of us made it this far in our careers. So right now we're just enjoying it. We're enjoying each other. We have smiles across our face. But it's also at the same time, it is a business trip. We're not just going down there just to have fun. We're going down there to take care of business.
RJ, obviously the point guard position here, you mentioned the bright lights. The point guard is the guy who makes everything go here, always has. Like, what does it mean to you? How much pride do you have in just being able to be the next Carolina point guard to take this team to the Final Four?
I mean, it means a lot just to, you watch and you hear about all these great point guards that came through North Carolina, and just for me to be a part of it, it's amazing. I'm grateful for it, and I'm just going to continue to keep working hard.
RJ, along those lines, is there any additional pressure that comes with going into this big stage, being point guard? Do you feel it, or is it just business as usual?
It's just business as usual. I'm a competitor, so it's basically like another day in the office for me.
Anybody else? All right, we got Brady in there. Oh, wait, you had...
RJ, Jeremy Roach has been playing significant minutes for Duke. Just looking at the tape, what stands out to you about his game? Because you'll likely be guarding him.
I mean, he's a good point guard. We played against each other when he was in middle school. He's playing really well for them. He's orchestrating the offense for them really well at a good pace. He's doing a good job.
Thank you, RJ.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, RJ. Thanks, Brady in here momentarily.
These guys know each other. Oh, no. It's amazing. Like middle school, really.
That's what I think makes it so freaking interesting.
Nobody really has.
Me too, especially since Roach is from my school.
And now they're going to guard each other in the Final Four. Nobody really.
You're really going on that one, huh? Well,
And then like Caleb's from St. Louis.
Right.
Although Duke has one of Duke's assistants is from St. Louis.
I'm super thankful for you kids.
You got a nose for news, I know that.
Big dog sniffs out the news.
Duke didn't want him. Do you think Armando's actually ever had gumbo before?
Bruce Chris. You go to Rich Chris all the time? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's he even said that. He's like, I want
Bruce
real
Chris
gumbo.
known for their gumbo.
Yeah. I'm surprised he orders it. Why you ordering gumbo?
Armando with a lot.
I don't think he knows how. He's so honest.
But Jimmy's will come out with some gumbo now, right?
Yeah. He might have it.
Right, you're right. That's right. Introducing our special Bacot gumbo.
Bacot gumbo.
It was funny. In San Francisco, there was like a Wall Street Journal reporter doing a thing on NIL deals. I guess Wendell Moore had one from Mountain Dew. Like his teammates walked by and were like, "Tell him how you really feel," and he was like, "No, I love Mountain Dew."
Thursday morning.
Oh, just flying there.
As long as you're around 2:15, you're good. All right, here's Brady. He's got a little less time, so keep questions quick and fast. Not the same thing, quick and fast, sorry. Yeah. Short and quick. Go ahead, Andrew.
How long did it take you to get through the celebration process from Philadelphia and kind of steer the nose in the direction of New Orleans?
Yeah, I'd say we had a team meeting yesterday about everything, and probably just that night and early morning and waking up still celebrating. But once we started talking about the trip and travel plans and everything, kind of changed my gear to focus on that game.
Was it pretty easy?
I wouldn't say it was easy. It's exciting. It's something that nobody on this team's experienced. So well, I think we're all very excited and anxious.
I mean, Coach Davis talks a lot about you coming from Oklahoma, never having been outside of there or whatever to live. What to you, when you wake up every morning here, what to you is the biggest difference about being in North Carolina, living in North Carolina?
I've always said biggest difference of living would be the trees. There's a lot of trees, but the biggest difference for me is not being close to home, not having my parents within an hour of being there, and not be able to see family as much as I want, and not be able to see my dog as much as I want. So, just the biggest change for me was more being on my own and trying to figure things out on my own. And it's been awesome. It's been an awesome year. It's been a lot of fun, and haven't really missed being at home just because of what I've been able to experience here.
Did you, when you were in Norman, would you go home a lot? Was that part of it?
Yeah, I went home all the time. I'd be able to go to my brother's games. I wanted something to eat. I'd tell my mom, "You make this for dinner, and I'll be home." And I was home all the time, and I had friends back home, and I was just back and forth. But my first few years, I was still felt pretty young, so I was home a lot and enjoyed being at home.
When you watched Caleb play this year, where we had games like the Syracuse game where he shot poorly the whole time until it was in the crunch, and then all of a sudden he went off. So at UCLA, what is it like when you're watching a guy just kind of take over in that moment, especially if he hasn't had a great game to that point?
Yeah, he played unbelievable against UCLA. He's the one that pulled us through in that. But he stays on me, and I believe that everybody stay on him as well about next shot, and just keep playing, because he proved in that UCLA game that it doesn't matter what happened in the first half, that he played unbelievable in the second half. And him being able to shoot the ball like that and facilitate and make passes and get in the paint, it's been awesome, and he's helped us out a lot in many different areas.
Brady, what was the experience like? I don't think we asked you in Philly of just being able to cut down the nets, and you and Leaky got to wear them. Like, was that, something that I guess a little unexpected, but still very cool?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was my first time ever doing anything like that. It was special, and it was a pretty cool time and thing to be able to do that for. Not many people get to experience that game and that experience, and what's going to happen in this upcoming week. There's not many people that have gotten that chance, and it's just been awesome.
Did you wear the net for a while? Did you have to give it up? Like, how long did you wear the net?
I wore it a very long time. Yeah, the whole plane ride back and everything. Yeah, I had it on for a long time.
I saw you walk down with it on Sunday night, right back in here to the Dean Dome. But what have you come to enjoy, or perhaps just have you come to process this rivalry between Duke and UNC and over the last year? And what does it mean to you to be going down to New Orleans to face the team that's typically just right down the road?
Yeah, it's been awesome, because you hear about it. You don't really ever experience it being different time zone, and growing up in Oklahoma, you hear about it, you see it on TV, but being able to experience a home and away game, awesome, and now being able to experience the first March Madness game of that, it's gonna be special, and it's gonna be a fun crowd. It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a lot of attention on both teams, and it's gonna be exciting.
How is Duke a different team than the last time you played them in Cameron?
I'd say they're like everybody else. They're growing. They're learning. Everybody get down to the end of the year, and you're on a hot streak. And I'd say we're all in the Final Four for a reason. So we're all on some kind of hot streak right now. And everybody grows. Everybody gets better. Players are more in their role from even beginning of the year, midway through the year. And everybody really takes part in that role, and just both teams are playing unbelievable.
Obviously, you guys won the game? What can you take away to do differently and do better on Saturday?
Yeah, just compete hard, play hard, and just hopefully come out with a win. Just enjoy it, enjoy the game, and enjoy the excitement, the build up to the game, and just have fun.
Has the degree of fan hysteria here kind of met your expectations, exceeded it? And how much have all your different social media followings just exploded?
Yeah, it's been bigger than I thought. The fan bases on North Carolina and even at away games, we're seeing people in the crowds, and there's always a lot of people cheering for us, and it's been awesome. And social media wise, it's unbelievable. Coming in, I committed and had a short blow up of social media, and it's been growing ever since. And it's just really cool to see the support and the amount of people that are liking me, actually.
It picked up a lot in the last month or so.
Yeah, I would say it's picked up quite a bit. Really picked up around conference play, and we started winning some games and winning big games, and it's definitely picked up, and it's been cool. You can see it, social media, you can see it in person, and walking around, it's been exciting.
You talk about social media. I've seen some of your TikToks. They've come up on my For You page. I was kind of curious the thought process behind those TikToks. Is that a collaborative effort?
Yeah, it's come up with an idea, and it's just funny and creative, and it's something that people like to see. So I'll keep making them at the most random time possible.
Do you have any lined up ideas for when you're down in New Orleans? Or?
I would say I have some stuff in the drafts, but I haven't really. We talked about making a few more, but it's like I said, it's random, and sometimes we take them on the first take and they're hilarious. Sometimes it takes us a while, so it's just funny.
How has the offense overall maybe changed or improved or grown as Caleb and RJ have found their chemistry together, and maybe with Caleb just being free off the ball to shoot a little bit more, RJ is more of a decision maker?
Yeah, we've been playing really well, and RJ, Caleb, Leaky, everybody that really facilitates the offense and has the ball in their hands a lot, whether it's ball handling, starting a play, dribbling. They've all been doing an unbelievable job, and they're able to get in the paint. Caleb, RJ been shooting unbelievable. Leaky's one of the best passers that we have on the team, and just them being able to be a threat on offense, and then also having that ability to pass open guy, penetrate, draw everybody away from Armando or away from me, away from Caleb, away from RJ. It spaces the floor well for us and helps the guys get open and have that chance to make an open shot.
Brady, your family rolls pretty deep, it seems like, at these games. Is it a challenge at all getting everybody accommodated for New Orleans? I mean, have you got more ticket requests than you can handle?
Yeah, I got a good amount of people, but I've had a strong few that have shown up to almost every game, and they've been to a lot of the big games, and had to help them first, and hopefully see what can happen after that. But my family's been awesome. They've spent a lot of money, a lot of time this year on whether it was plane tickets, hotels, traveling from 1 week, going from Atlanta back to Chapel Hill or something, something, just making a long weekend out of something. It's pretty incredible what they've been able to do, and I've had somebody at every game but one this year. It was the Boston one that got rescheduled to a day later. I just told them cancel it, but I've had a family every year actually. I've only had about 5 or 6 games in college where nobody was at.
I wanted to go back to something you said. Caleb has been on you and everybody. Next shot, next shot. Were you all wired that way before, or did hearing Caleb say it, does that help you in how you approach? Because you seem pretty comfortable out there, even in clutch moments.
Yeah, I think it helps everybody. Some games people aren't shooting the way they want to. They're missing open shots. You can get down on yourself, but I think it helps anybody. he's been playing unbelievable, and he's been that guy that we need, and it's shown several times throughout the year, and specifically in the UCLA game, that he was definitely looking at that next shot, and it second half took off for him, and it was awesome to see.
You said you've been comfortable all year, or with the fit here. Has your confidence grown in your shot, or has that been pretty much the same all year?
I'd say the confidence has always been there. I've been put in a really awesome position here of being the 4 spot and being able to play with guys that can help draw the defense away from me and really leave me in a position where I'm not necessarily getting face guarded, but I have a chance to cut back door, space on the opposite side, come off of some kind of screen. It's been a really cool, and I've been in a great position with this team.
Time for 2 more questions.
Brady, before you got to college, who would you say was most instrumental in your basketball development, and why would you say that first?
I would say my dad. He was an awesome shooter in college. Shot really well from 3, and he learned to shoot and really took it to the next level with me and my brother. We grew up going to all kinds of camps. We went to his college, went to that camp all the time, and they have a big emphasis on shooting, and really just took it from my dad and been able to make it into my own kind of shot and gone from there, and it's worked out, and made a lot of shots over my career.
Hey, Billy, you said your decision was kind of like an all or nothing family decision. You had to have everybody on the same page. Was everybody constantly on the same page, or was there somebody maybe you had to kind of push more towards this decision to come to North Carolina?
I think we were all on the same page. It was more of being left up to me. They wanted me to decide. They wanted me to ultimately make that decision. But when it came down to I set a deadline for myself. I said that week I'm going to make a decision by Friday, and I got to make a decision by Friday. And you could tell later in the week it was North Carolina would be a lot of fun. You don't have to grow up yet. It'd be a lot of fun, and it's really pushed me to come here, and I wanted to come here. So it's all worked out, and it's been awesome.
Thank you very much.
Brady, who finished second? Like, where was the other school that you were seriously?
I would say it was just here or go pro, and I decided to go back to college.
Thanks, guys. What's the dog, Brady? The dog at the house. Shih Tzu. His name's Scooby. Thank you. Shih Tzu named Scooby is the dog. I got you, AJ. Don't worry.
Thank you, everybody.
Who had a Shih Tzu?
Well, he said he'd like to go home and see his dog. All right.
Nothing about him.
That's the last thing.
Huh?
Nothing about him is logical. It's amazing.
You can work in the press until 5. If you need to. What?
Do you know when details will come out about when the team's leaving?
Don't know yet, because I do know there's talk about us leaving earlier tomorrow because of weather in New Orleans.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we originally were leaving around 7:30, so probably leaving here 6-ish. But I've heard that there's serious talk about us having to move